What's good with y'all? Back for another video. It's been a while. The biggest frauds ever in anime. That's what we're reacting to. I will give my initial opinion to see which one's really a fraud and which one really isn't. You feel me? And yeah, we got Gojo on the cover. Y'all can't see it right now because I'm on the cover, but it's Gojo on the cover, Rengoku and Mihawk. I know somebody that's not, gonna like the Mihawk drone, but you know what I'm saying? We don't really got much information about that fraud ass nigga. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. But yeah. Let's get into this video.
HelloFresh has meals that are fast and flavorful.
I do look good. I ain't gonna lie.
Why you like some spicy chicken, man?
Because that's my name, baby.
Y'all know how this go. Hold on. Oh Lord, I've been moving different.
When looking at the discourse of many communities, you may often find someone calling a certain character or person a fraud. But what do people mean when they say this?
Can't even call Dragon a fraud. We don't even know what that nigga can do for real.
Webster says a fraud is a person who is not what he or she pretends to be, or in other words, an imposter or a pretender. Now, in the right context, the word fraud is appropriate to use, but in many cases, the word is misused greatly. The word has been ran into the ground so much that it has lost a lot of its original meaning. Another example of this happening is the term crash out, where people have spammed it so much that the word is meaningless. In anime, cartoons, sports, movies, comics, etc., people are quick to call someone a fraud after losing a fight or a game when it is simply not justified. And you know, since I've been really negative in some of my recent videos, I wanted to switch it up a bit and take some time to dispel some of the fraud narratives around certain characters. So it's all positivity, man, no slander today, okay guys? The first example I want to bring up is the admirals from One Piece, as they feel like some of the most polarizing
manga spoilers, guys. If y'all not caught up to One Piece, Jujutsu Kaisen, or anything else listed on this video, skip through it. Skip through it.
Characters in the series. These guys are said to be the strongest fighters of the Marines and are shown to be some of the strongest characters in the entire series. However, fraud allegations are consistently attached to these guys' names, but quite frankly, I don't believe these allegations have much, if any, validity to them because the admirals have shown that their titles aren't capped. Well, besides those times where you get your face broken in by a 70-year-old man who can't even use hockey and has he
can't use hockey.
Hold up, my bad, no slander. A lot of the time
Y'all talking about Whitebeard. Alright, that confused me, I ain't even gonna lie. The only fraud niggas on the Admiral list I would say is Green Bull. He not really necessarily a fraud, but you know, Shanks scared him away. That's Shanks though, you feel me? That's Shanks. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't want to fight Shanks either if I was in One Piece, you feel me? But yeah. That's all I gotta say. And Kizaru, just Kizaru. Aokiji, and Akaini's Akaini. You feel me? It's whatever.
Times we see the admirals fight, they do show that they can hang with their opponents fairly easily. Like when Kizaru clashed with Rayleigh, he was keeping up with them without breaking too much of a sweat. And plus, this is Silver's Rayleigh we're talking about, the right hand to the Pirate King. Let's not downplay him like he's some fodder bum. Although he's old, we still have seen older characters putting in work. Even then, Rayleigh was low-key huffing and puffing during their skirmish, so who knows if this man even had enough stamina to keep fighting. A similar thought process can be applied to the Akainu and Whitebeard fight. It's not like Akainu died or got knocked out. He got back up and went back to work. Shoot, I'm not even saying that Whitebeard wasn't stronger than Akainu, but let's not act like these guys weren't trading blows throughout their fight. Another guy who be getting a lot of flack is Green Bull because he ran from Wano due to he who shan't be name's hockey. But people fail to mention that Green Bull was basically forced to run away from Wano because he was the only major hitter from the Marines there. What y'all want him to do? Engage with one of the emperors of the sea? You don't just go attacking Yonkos willy-nilly. They have too much influence, especially Shanks. He would have gotten jumped and people would still call him a fraud. It's best to just run away and spin back another day. And y'all must have known that I was bringing this guy up, the greatest and
oh boy, you sure? I want you to sit down and prepare for whatever's about to be said. Yeah.
strongest swordsman in the world, Mihawk. Now, whether you think this guy or Shanks is stronger really doesn't matter one bit in terms of the fraud allegations. The allegations only seem to be present because Mihawk has famously done nothing significant outside of the East Blue. This notion has caused many fans to become brain dead anytime this man pops up on screen. First off, let's get this straight. Mihawk does this pirate stuff for fun, as he's already proven himself to be the strongest swordsman. So if he don't want to fight, he's not gonna fight.
Oh, but Mihawk don't want to fight Emperor Cruz, so he's fraud.
I don't know why, but some people are are really obsessed with the top tier solo squad and Yonko crews like they are not some of the strongest forces. Someone not willing to fight against the strongest armies by themselves does not make them a fraud. They're just not crazy. You don't gotta be some smoke demon to prove that you're a strong character or that you're worthy of your title. And if I really wanted to be boring, it's clear that Oda wants to hide a lot of these characters' max strength until we get to the final arc. So don't expect someone like a Kainu to go all out against some randoms. And as for the painted blade, we all know that's a joke. They just haven't explained how you get a black blade and why it's so impressive. So for now, that meme will live on. I'm gonna give it a buck. I don't even want to talk about Dragon. This is what we've seen him do in the series.
Our argument is that you know, Shanks is stronger than Mihawk. You know what I'm saying? We've argued this multiple times within the group chat of mine. And it's still ongoing. It's like a not everyday type of thing. It's like every week, maybe. But you know, the Black Blade thing. You know, my buddy Eshawn thinks that just because he has that, he's stronger than Roger. I'm putting you out there now, Eshawn. I'm letting everybody know this now. He thinks Mihawk is the strongest ever in One Piece because of the Black Blade. He has said that before. And his list of top 10 characters, Mihawk is, I think, 3. And he put Emu at 1, Luffy at 2, and Mihawk at 3. Whether they were dead or alive, which is, you know what I'm saying, it's a little crazy. But you know how Eshawn Piece is, that's what we call it. You know, the little stories that he makes up with Mihawk that we yet have no idea what the hell he be doing, you feel me? And in terms of characters he has fighting to get to number 1, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, you feel me? That's where we at right now. And yeah, it wasn't also just Mihawk, it was Kaido at a time. But he evolved out of that stage due to Kaido not being present in the story anymore. So yeah, I don't even know why he's trying to hype Mihawk up. He seems destined to lose against Zoro. So it's like, you know, I'm not saying that I don't like Mihawk. I like Mihawk, but you know, we're in this kind of feud right now, you feel me? So it's whatever. Just had to get that out there. My bad.
But it's not just One Piece that has a lot of false fraud allegations. These allegations are rampant in other series. There are people that unironically think that characters like Gojo, Yamamoto, and Rengoku are candidates for the biggest fraud in anime history. This post is telling me...
Alright, hold on. Rengoku got put up against a bad character. He shouldn't have fucking fought him. He didn't know that though, but you know what I'm saying. In terms of strength between him and Akaza, it's not fair at all, you feel me? Gojo, bro got hit with a world-cutting slash that bypassed Infinity. That's all you gotta say. Yamamoto didn't even fight a full strength Yuha. I mean, so it's like, it's whatever. I don't even think bro knew he had Almighty and all that other shit. I'm not sure. But yeah, these situations here, it's not really fair.
Me that someone out there on God's green earth believes that Yamamoto's in the same class as Buggy the Clown when it comes to being fraudulent. Now I know...
Yeah, hell no.
It's probably unfair to bring up one post and paint it as widespread opinion, but from my personal experience, I've seen enough people that actually think Yamamoto and Gojo are frauds for me to call it.
Okay, how? I want to hear something, how?
It out. First off, why is Rengoku even here? What makes him a fraud? Losing to an
it's not.
Upper Moon? Akaza is given the works to basically every Hashira at this point in the story except Gyome. Anyone with
Damn, I ain't know that.
upper rank 3 or higher will most likely need to get jumped. This man Rengoku didn't even have a mark. What did people expect him to do? Losing to a stronger opponent does not make you a fraud. Then the fact that people believe Yamamoto was a fraud is laughable. I alluded to talking about this in a previous video because I really wanted to talk about it. Anyways, when Yamamoto said there's no greater security than me, he wasn't necessarily joking or really lying. Besides Squad Zero, who wouldn't even interfere with anything outside of the Soul King Palace, Yamamoto was the strongest security for the Soul Society at that moment. Plus, these guys weren't doing nothing to Yamamoto, what does he need security for? And let's start setting a certain record straight. The whole point of Yamamoto being beaten by Yu-Hawk wasn't to show that he's weak or anything. It was to show that over the years, he became a stubborn old man. Yamamoto was never the smartest guy in the Soul Society or ever really open to new ideas for real. Man's never even got his arm healed. So him getting duped by Yu-Hawk because of the traits he's already shown throughout the series does not make him a pretender of some sort. His strength is still there. In fact, he probably would have defeated this version of Yu-Hawk if he had his Bankai. The clone version of Yu-Hawk, aka Roy Lloyd, was said by the creator himself to have about 70 to 80% of his strength. And we know that this is probably true because he boxed up Kenpachi with just his hands. And when Yamamoto popped his Bankai versus this guy, he was showing all of his moves to try to demoralize Yu-Hawk. This fight was not like Cell versus Goku during the Cell games. It was a beatdown. Yamamoto was trying to make a statement. So if Yamamoto folded 70% of Yu-Hawk with ease, he probably could beat him with the extra 30%. If you want an analogy, if I get smoked in the 200-meter race by like 10 seconds and I say, hey, oh, wait, I ain't have my spikes on, so I was only going about 75%. What the fuck is the extra 30% gonna do? I get smoked by 5 seconds instead, and I've gone into why Gojo isn't a fraud multiple times. Gonna spoil the manga a bit, so skip here to avoid that. Let's read this panel real quick. The strongest sorcerer in history versus the strongest sorcerer of today. Both these dudes claim to be the strongest, so they're seeing who can really own the title. So fighting someone who is dubbed the strongest sorcerer in history for 10 plus chapters and almost winning does not make you fraudulent. People act like Gojo said he'd win and start getting his tail whipped or something when the fight looked like it could have gone either way. And almost dying because someone tried to sneak you does not make you a fraud. If you don't like Gojo, just say that and keep it pushing. Like I said previously, to be a fraud, you have to be deceiving others with an idea that portrays you as something that you are not. This definition isn't very applicable to every character under the sun. To have this definition apply to a character better, you'd have to be getting your butt whipped in a lot of fights you get into and have a name that suggests that you are.
So it's all positivity, man. No slander today, okay, guys?
Well, so much for that. Mark is a really special case. He's not like Takamichi who gets beaten up because he's a bum of a character and a bum of a delinquent, but he gets beaten up just enough for me to be like, dang, again? The genre Invincible as a series is going for is a more realistic superhero experience for a teenager, so I can't expect him to just win every fight. But the
I don't know anything about this Invincible at all, so I'm learning stuff here, I guess.
fact still remains that he's gotten beaten up by a lot of people who realistically shouldn't be beating someone up named Invincible. Were there no other names available? Was something like Ultraman taken already? Let's be real. Invincible as a superhero name is extremely misleading considering the fact that I see him with a bloody nose in half of his fights. Imagine seeing the Flash, the fastest man alive, not being able to react to normal speed punches. Oh shoot. I see other characters lose one fight and get dubbed a fraud afterwards. Some of those allegations need to be directed towards Mark, especially in some parts of season 1 and 2. And it's not even the fact that he lost to a character like Battle Beast. There's no shame in that. Battle Beast is like the strongest in the verse and he went against a fairly green Invincible. But zombie robots? That's who's beating you up? Every other episode feels like some random new fighter is beating him up. And before I move on to more slander, if you're enjoying the video and you're new, you might as well subscribe. While I'm on a roll talking about frauds, I might as well bring up the Illuminati.
Oh, nothing
What?
works on this acne.
Hi. Who? I'm a licensed dermatology provider.
No, I'm talking about the Marvel Illuminati.
Oh yeah, this is bad. This is really bad, really bad.
More specifically, the one from the MCU. This might be the most useless group of people I've ever seen in my life. They should be one of the most powerful groups in the entire universe considering you have Black Bolt and Captain Marvel on the same team. But Reed Richards, one of the smartest people in the Marvel universe, somehow gave away their biggest advantage with Black Bolt by revealing his powers. And then Black Bolt murks himself? I shouldn't even have to explain why this sequence of events is stupid. Like, this is past plot armor. This might just be bad writing. Then expecting Mr. Fantastic to be able to do something against a determined Scarlet Witch, it's just foolish. To be honest, there's no need to bring up Captain Carter, she's irrelevant. But the real nail in the coffin for this fraudulent group is Captain Marvel dying to a statue. Not some crazy Hexor and Infinity Stone blast. A statue and some assistance from Wanda killed one of the strongest beings in the universe. I'm being dead serious right now. How much force did she put on this statue to just instantly murk Captain Marvel out of all people? These are textbook examples of frauds. These guys deceived everyone into thinking that they were actually capable and competent enough to stop the strong threats, but they couldn't even neutralize Scarlet Witch when they clearly had the advantage. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention Professor X. That's how pathetic he was in the movie. Isn't he supposed to be one of the strongest telepaths in Marvel? He just gets his neck snapped in the mindscape and just rolls over. I guess, man. I guess.
That's
there are
what
also
happened.
characters whose whole gimmick is them being a fraud. Hercule is a great case of this. He deceived people into thinking that he defeated Cell when we know dang well what happened when he tried to fight him. That's the whole joke with him. He's very weak compared to the villains in Dragon Ball, but he somehow gets the credit for winning. Fraudulent, but it is funny. And unlike some characters characters, Hercule's able to box up the average Joe. A character like King is just a regular dude that just skates by because of his luck. This man is an S-class hero, but is incapable of taking down any villain with powers. He don't even know how he got this far. And I'm not even joking. King is quite literally an aura man. Most of the villains he comes across don't attack him because they get scared of his mere presence and King engine. Which, by the way, it's just his heart thumping really loud. So he has fake aura too. I can't even say or tell if it's a gag anymore. King might just have luck manipulation at this point. And who can forget our favorite clown, Buggy D Clown, who really went from rags to riches. He went from East Blue Pirate to Warlord to Emperor of the Sea. And low-key, on the surface, Buggy seems like a fraud. Well, actually, it's not seems. He is a fraud. But I don't think his Emperor status is the craziest thing in the world. Let me explain real quick. Considering the fact that he was on Roger's crew and how the world government pays special attention to anyone with association to that crew, it makes a bit of sense why that play a part into his status as a Yonko. Influence plays a big part in what the world government deems as an emperor. You know who else is a fraud? This guy, the guy from Spy Kids. Not sure if y'all watched this movie when y'all were younger, but this
it's hella niggas in this. I thought it was just okay.
bum tricked me as a child into thinking
I thought it was just anime, so it's ever okay.
was really like that. He came
It's
in
in the
all
title. I should have read. My bad.
courageous and heroic, and even gave everyone hope that they'd win. Then he got all 99 of his lives taken away in an instant. He's a fraud. I'm actually getting angry just thinking about it. Again, more spoilers for JJK, so skip here to avoid them again. But I'd really be doing myself a disservice if I didn't mention this
Is he bringing up Kashima?
guy. Sukuna, while he was in Megami's body, had short-lived but severe fraud allegations. The case was being built and he was almost the biggest deceiver of all of new gen manga. If you guys were reading the manga last year around this same time, you know that for like 3 chapters straight, Gojo was putting the pause on this guy Sukuna.
He was.
I'm talking red back shots wrapping around the building, attempting to 3v1 Gojo and still being on the ropes at times, hollow purple nukes, yelling for Maharaga. Crody even tried throwing fire extinguishers as a means to distract Gojo. And to top it all off, getting black flash so hard that all 4 of your eyes whited out. The memes were actually out of control. Trust me, if it was the other way around, I'd be making this exact segment about Gojo. But we all know how everything ended.
Everybody
up.
would
So
too.
Kuna ended up clearing the fraud allegations.
Man, this joint here. This is a game changer. This panel to the next chapter. You know what I'm saying? We everybody celebrating. Oh shit, Gojo won and shit. Next chapter starts off with Gojo's backstory. Well, not even a backstory. Him and the afterlife. You know what I'm saying? We like, what the hell's going on? Then we see that one panel. And we're like, damn. You know what I'm saying? I remember playing basketball with my friends, you feel me? And we was like, yo, who y'all think gonna win? This next chapter, what's gonna happen? I'm like, yo, you know what I'm saying? Gojo's gonna die. Gojo's going to die. Me, Kai, and I think it was Isha on the call as well. You feel me? We get on the call. We read the live leaks and we see the panel. I'm like, nah, that's gotta be fake. Then we're reading this shit and it's like, damn. Nah, that can't be real. It's real. That nigga got off. And to this day, it's like, wow.
Just completely. And finally, I wanted to briefly mention Father from Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. Although I know why he lost, realistically, I feel like he had everything going his way to win. He had all the strength and got boxed up by Edward, a teenager. The alchemy we saw him do was out of this world, so him losing was kind of crazy. But the whole point of his character is Father being smart enough to craft this entire plan to get this strong, but too dumb to understand certain aspects of humans to actually succeed. But that's kind of boring to say, so I'm gonna just say he's a fraud. There are way more characters that have a stronger case to be considered
Father's tough though.
but I just wanted to call out some of the nonsense seen in a lot of discourse nowadays, which seems to be a lot more black and white than it should be. The context and circumstance matter a lot in how much of a fraud a character is, which is something many don't consider. Hope y'all enjoyed the video, and special thanks if you made it this far. Can't thank y'all enough for this. Also, thank you so much for 90K. 100K is the next stop, I promise y'all. With that being said, have a great day, and peace out.
Alright, that's the vid. I'll catch y'all on another one. And yeah. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and kill. Y'all know that. Peace. I'll catch y'all.